Hey, I'm back again. Part 2. Emotionalism leads to anti-intellectualism. Affirmative action. Welfare programs. Section 8. Anything that has to do with the government. The Democrats, or whoever, it could be Republicans, but it's mostly Democrats, liberals, progressives. They try to make you think that because people have been disenfranchised, that giving them money and housing and things of that nature is doing good. I call them do-gooders. They're doing good, and because they're doing good, giving you food stamps and things of that nature, that they just have a good heart and have a big heart and the whole thing. Now, I'm siding on I'm going to side with the fact that they honestly believed at one point that they were doing good, which there's nothing wrong with that. Just because I disagree with somebody, that doesn't mean that I can judge what their intent is, their heart, because their heart may be good. Again, okay, now that's the part which is emotionalism, right? Then later on, we have data. We can go back and we can look at the programs and we can say, did the programs actually do what we intended for them doing? Let me tell you, emphatically, no, they have not. So what does one do? They think the remedy is to give more welfare programs. Okay? Again, emotionalism leads to anti-intellectualism. Now, you would think that they would say, wow, we tried this, we had a good heart, we had good intentions, we want to do this, but what we find is that anything that we subsidize, we get more of it. Now, I don't want to pick on the poor because big businesses get subsidies too. And you see that what happens to them when they get subsidies, well, I'm just picking the welfare program. So don't think I'm just picking on them. I'm thinking the rich, they love it too. Corporations love it too because they hate competition. But the difference, I think, is that the corporations are smart enough to know that they must get lobbyists to lobby their congressmen so they can get rules in their favor. So I don't know if I'd put that in the category of being anti-intellectual. I think that they know exactly what they're doing. I think it's criminal, and I think they need to go to jail, but I think they know exactly what they're doing. This is not the case when it comes to the constituents, people who actually are the ones who are getting these welfare programs. I think these people actually think, whether they be white, black, male, female, doesn't matter. I think they actually think that it's actually better for them. You can pick Social Security. I won't pick on welfare because people, they get all, they get all hurt behind, they think you're picking on the poor people. Let's talk about welfare. Not welfare. Let's talk about Social Security. Social Security, when it first got started, there were 14 workers to every one retiree. Now, you ask me a question, and you got these people say that they deserve it. They put into the system. How are you going to put $1 in a system and get $3.50 out? First of all, that's not even good math. But if you got 14 workers putting $1 in and you got one person retired, yeah, you can pay a person, they put in $1 and you can give them $3. That makes sense. But the people that put together, they had to know, if this ever changes to where the population doesn't continue to boom and people don't reproduce, and if anything gets in the way, this whole system is going to be bankrupt. And now fast forward to today, 2013. They say it's 2.3. I think they said 2.3 workers for every retiree. You know what that means? That Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. You know what a Ponzi scheme is? That means one person puts money in, you think you're putting it into your personal account, but it actually is paying for the current retiree right now. So all the people who are working, putting money into Social Security, your money is going right out of Social Security, going into a current retiree's plan. So then the next question, which makes sense, then where's the money going to come from when I retire? Aha, yeah, good question. Especially since the birth rates of Europeans, white people, what you want to call them, is drastically decreased. It's even decreased among blacks, even though blacks are having more babies than whites. But that could be largely due to abortions too, because black people make up 19% of the population, but I think we come up with 30 or 40% of all the abortions, which is, don't even get me talking about that one. But Mexicans or Latinos or what you want to call them, if you want to be politically correct, they're having babies, and that's the reason that people can, the census and all these people, they can forecast to say, hey, that the companies and corporations and the government, they know that this country, based upon just having babies, 20 years down the road is going to be largely Hispanic. They know that. So that's the reason they're moving in that direction. So why am I saying all this? Emotions. Emotions make you think that you can put $1 in something and get $3 out. And you try to tell people from an intellectual standpoint, how can that be? How can you put $1 in and not get $1 out? You put $1 in, you're going to get $1 out. If for me to promise to give you $3, that means I had to get the money from someplace else. That only makes sense. But again, these people don't care. And you ask them, do you think we need to raise the retirement age? Nope. Do you think that you could take a pay cut? Nope. Do you think we need to get rid of the Federal Reserve to stop inflation? Nope. You see, all of those are valid questions. And that's the thing that people are entertaining now. See, now Barack Obama is actually telling these people that welfare benefits and all these benefits are going to be cut. And they like, what? You mean to tell me? No, okay, but anyway, because Barack Obama knows the math. Now, he'll say anything to get elected. But he knows the math. He knows the numbers don't add up. That's what I'm saying. But his constituents believe that 2 plus 2 is 9. And everybody know that 2 plus 2 is not 9. Now, again, a death of intellectualism. That's when your emotions get in. You make everything emotional, then you can't make good decisions. And I can give you many, many more examples, but those are just 2 right off the top of my head, and I would be interested to hear what you guys have to say about this. Now, I'm not trying to, get people all upset and everything like that. I'm just giving you my point of view, and I would be interested to hear your point of view. But to me, I think emotionalism is one of the main things that's causing not just this nation, but nations around the world who are what we call industrial nations, advanced economies. They can't seem to differentiate the difference between what is real and what is fantasy. And it's obvious that politicians understand this. They know they can't tell you the truth. I totally get that. I know they can't. But what that is, it's a testament to how naive and uninformed that you are, and how anti-intellectual you are. Because they honestly believe, especially the Democrats, they actually believe that that you have no thinking skills whatsoever. They got to hand feed everything to you. They got to tell you who to vote for. They got to tell you, who's going to take care of you when it comes to guns. They got to tell you every single thing. Like a child. Just like children. And it ought to make you mad, is what it should do. But for enough people, it's not making people mad. The fact of how they insult you, especially the Democrats, they act as if black people, especially black people, they act like we can't think whatsoever. And the sad testament to that is that through our actions, we are validating their position.